Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in again. I hope you enjoyed yesterday. We learned all about what an overview of a plant is. And I thought today we could look a little bit further into exactly what certain key parts of a plant is. So today, I thought we would spend some time talking about our roots. Probably the most important part of a plant, and I think we're mostly all familiar with them. There's a couple of different types of roots. So again, we've got our wonderful, wonderful tree, and hard to control my colors here. So, there's two types of roots. One that we're all familiar with, a lot of people know, is called the fibrous root system. And that's a root system like that. And the other one, you may not know it's a root, but I know you all know it. And that's a taproot. How many of you recognize that? It's a carrot. So that, I have to tell you guys, because my art isn't always the best. But that's a taproot. The most essential, or one of the most essential roles of the roots are to hold the plant in place, like we mentioned yesterday. Having these roots reaching down into the ground make it so that the plant can't fall over, it's nice and strong and sturdy. The other thing that roots do as well is they bring up all of the water, we spoke about that yesterday, and they move all of the water and all of the nutrients and minerals that are breaking down, and they pull it up into the rest of the plant. So the roots are moving all that water and mineral to the leaves, and the leaves are taking the photosynthesis, moving it down to the roots. So they help each other grow. And that is essentially what a basic root system does. So we're going to go with this one. And the reason I picked taproot first, a lot of people don't know this, but every single plant, when it first starts, it grows as a taproot. The seed puts out a small little stem, and that first root that comes down is a taproot. Now, here are some common taproots. I think you're going to recognize these. I think we all know spruce trees and pine trees, most of the conifers. Again, we're going to go to our that's a radish. A radish is also a taproot, and one that I'm sure you guys know and see a lot of, especially in the spring. A lot of people don't like them, but the bees and the butterflies love them. Anybody guess what it is yet? I don't have yellow, so we're going to use orange. It's a dandelion. And the dandelion is renowned for having just one long, strong root that keeps it down there. Now, the taproots, one of the things they're great for is, as you can see, they just basically go straight down. Even on the big conifer, it goes straight down. They're great for anchoring that plant into one place. They're great for storing energy, and they're also really good for finding deeper water and for storing water and carbohydrates. This allows the plant to essentially, if it's not getting what it needs, it can dip into its reserves. It's like if you eat a meal, you're not hungry right away because you've got a full belly and your body's feeding off that reserve. Taproots are storing energy and water and carbohydrates for the plants to grow. It's one of the reasons why you see a lot of people, if they cut off the dandelion, it shoots up again because it's got that energy in the root system. So that is essentially your taproot. So the next system after the taproot is the fibrous root. Now, a fibrous root is the one that I always draw. It's my go-to plant. I think you've seen me draw 4 or 5 of them now. And that's your basic tree, your apple trees, your maple trees, ones like that. They're renowned for having it. Now, something I realized after talking to people, being a gardener and a horticulturalist, I have seen a ton of different root systems, but a lot of people haven't, because the main thing, there's a tree, there's a ground. Well, where do roots grow? They grow underground. How are we meant to see them? How does anybody know what a root looks like? Even if you've got a plant pot at home, and you've got your plant growing in your plant pot, well, those roots are covered in the soil. They're down here. So what I've done is I've grown some plants for a little while now, and I grew them in water. Some of you might recognize this. This is a very common house plant. It's a spider plant. I grew this one from a baby, and I grew it just in water. If you look in our stories, we're going to have some close-ups of these, but there is the root system. And that is what's known as a fibrous root system on a spider plant. So you can see, if I was going to plant this guy in the ground, there's his leaves, they go above ground, and that's exactly how he would look. And he would sit there. And then these roots are going to bring up all of the water and the nutrients into the leaves. Now, a very, very, very common plant that a lot of people have, let's make sure all of the roots get back in the water. A very common plant that a lot of people have are succulents. They're really pretty, they're very diverse. A lot of people have them for a number of reasons, but a lot of people don't realize quite how extensive the root system is. So I started this succulent from a leaf, literally this. I popped a leaf off just like that, and I put it in water just like that. Okay, we're going to get to that later. We're going to show you guys more on that guy later. And then I just let him go, and I kept increasing the size of his pot. Now, it looks pretty cool like that. Let's see if we can move it in a little closer for you guys. We're going to lift it out. And that's the size of the roots. That is a fibrous root system. So, on both of these plants, let's put him back in. On both of these plants, on the spider plant and on the succulent, as it started growing, so here's our spider plant. As it started growing, the first root it put out was a tiny little taproot like that. Then, as it started growing, it started going into a fibrous root system. The roots are what you call adventurous roots. And all that means is that they go, taproot will go straight down. These roots go wherever they can. They break into the new soil. They push through to look for new sources of water and nutrition and minerals they can take up to the plant. So again, as you can see, two very different plants here, and no rhyme or reason to their root systems. They're both completely different, but they're both a fibrous root system. And that is the adventurous fibrous root system. Now another root system I know you guys all know, draw my ground. Everybody has seen this one, I promise. You play soccer? We played on grass. Grass is all fibrous roots. And one amazing thing about it, one great thing about that, is it prevents erosion. So, as it rains or it gets dry and windy, soil and ground breaks up. These plants stop it doing that. The roots, as you saw there, they form a dense mat and they hold it all together. So these guys are excellent for stopping erosion and for keeping the ground solid and safe. So, that's the difference between fibrous and taproot. So we know how the roots affect the plants that they're connected to. But what about us? What do roots do for us? Well, there's a lot that you guys know. Again, we know our carrot. Carrot sticks and dip. Delicious, absolutely perfect. Another one that people like, I personally love. I love to put it in my smoothies. Beetroot. I don't know if you guys use beets, bright purple. That is also a root system. And then one of my favorites and I love drawing them just because I think they're cute and they're small, is the radish. And again, that's a root system. 3 totally different sizes, different colors, all vegetables, all edible. You know what? I like radishes so much. And give that radish a smiley face. And they're completely different. But there's also another reason for roots. We've got, these are ones you might not know them, you may have heard of them. Echinacea. Echinacea is a bright purple flower with a yellow center. Its roots are a fibrous root system, much like this. And echinacea root is used in a lot of medications. It helps fight against the common cold and helps ease common cold symptoms like runny noses and sore throats. Another one is valerian root. And valerian roots are much thinner. They're more similar to this guy's roots again. And valerian is an amazing, amazing root. Helps you feel sleepy. So on those nights that you can't sleep, like nights before my TV show here, where you're so excited to learn about plants and you need some help, you take valerian root and it'll help you get to sleep. There's all kinds of roots out there. There's ginger roots, there's turmeric. Some are used for food, some medicine, some both. So roots are really, really, really helpful for the plants and for us. As roots grow underground, we already talked about that. A lot of people don't really know much about them, and how can you if you can't see them? So if you've got your ground and you've got your roots, a lot of people think the most important part of the plant is this part here. The leaves that grow above ground. That's not true. There are certain plants out there, we already mentioned the dandelion. You cut your dandelion off, another one grows. But did you know that there are other plants? Do you know what this is? This is spinach. Can you tell by my amazing drawing? So if you take your roots, and then you come out to your garden with your garden cutters, and you cut your spinach, great, you got a salad. That's delicious, that's perfect, that's exactly what you need. But you leave the roots in the ground. And this also works on lettuce and kale and a few other things as well. And next thing you know, you've got babies coming up. And that is going to send out new. And as these grow, they're going to undergo photosynthesis, get that energy back down to the roots and keep going. I think my personal record is I grew 4 heads of lettuce off 1 lettuce root just by cutting it off completely. So by cutting all of this, you're not going to kill the plant. If you damage the root system, you're probably going to kill a plant. Some of them can come back, but the roots are more important. So that's a quick tip into how important roots are in the plant. I hope you enjoyed seeing them. Remember, you can do experiments like this at home. All you need is a glass, a leaf, literally that, or a spider plant baby, and you can grow your own and have a look at it as well. So that brings today to a close. Tomorrow we're going to be discussing more about leaves, how they're important and what they do. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I can't wait to see you guys to talk about leaves tomorrow. Bye everyone.